Which is better, Nike's Hypervenom 3 or Adidas' X16 Purechaos? This is Blake from Football Boots, and today we'll explore and investigate the differences between two very popular boot ranges by two competing brands. In order to compare these two boot styles perfectly, we'll compare the boot's specific features, performance, fit, price and overall ratings on each boot. If you are someone wanting one of these boots but don't know which one, well then strap yourselves in for a complete comparison between two high quality football boots. And before I get started, can you guess this boot by these three emojis? Stay tuned for the answer at the end of the video. The first task is to compare tech specs and features of the two silos. In its third generation, the Hypervenom has had mixed feedback between professionals and amateurs alike, but the latest generation has offered us the most technologically advanced silo yet. As to the Purechaos, this silo was originally launched in mid-2016 for the Euros. It was launched in conjunction with the X16.1, offering not just one, but two pro-level speed silos to the public. So both boots in their right mind are designed for goal scorers and goal creators. Nike's third gen Hypervenom moved away from the category of agility, and now it's purely marketed for centre forwards, while the Purechaos encompasses both strikers and attacking players in its marketing strategy. Uppers wise, the Hypervenom opts for an all Flyknit Nike skin design, which is very soft, flexible and high quality. Flyknit itself is a woven material which wraps around your foot much easier than most synthetics. This is arguably the best thing about the Hypervenom, especially over previous generations. Added on top is a thin polyurethane Nike skin for waterproofing, which yes does slightly stiffen the Flyknit but not enough to make a huge difference to the thickness and softness of the upper. As to the Purechaos, this silo has the much thinner upper of the two. It's synthetic, it's very soft and flexible and offers much more barefoot feel of the two uppers. In my eyes, the Flyknit Nike skin used on the Hypervenom has the edge in terms of overall craftsmanship and quality, but just though. Collars wise, the Hypervenom's dynamic fit collar wraps your ankle tightly for a sock-like fit and feel. Made of Flyknit, once you have adjusted to the fit and feel, it can be quite comfortable experience, but overall not a feature which has anything to do with enhancing performance. The Purechaos' collar in my eyes is the perfect height for a collar. Dubbed Tefa, it uses much more of a fabricated material which wraps just below your two main ankle bones for a much more traditional fit than the DF Hypervenom. A definite better collar over the Hypervenom in my eyes. For lockdown, Nike have added their trademark flywire cables to the Hypervenom 3, acting like suspension cables on a bridge. Flywire can be adjusted perfectly to suit your needs as it works with the laces to tighten your midfoot, which is perfect for a boot which uses Flyknit as it's very soft. In this gen, you can even adjust the cables by pulling them tighter, which was not a feature seen on previous generations. The Purechaos has no cables across its upper but uses a super aggressive no-tongue design, which is its form of lockdown and responsiveness. Personally, when lacing this boot up, yes it does have laces. First felt how aggressive the wrap was across my midfoot. It was very tight and should provide the same or similar lockdown you would get in the Hypervenom 3. The Hypervenom, like previous generations, offers an off-center lacing system for a larger ball striking surface. This itself helps strikers and footballers that like to shoot often a much cleaner and more controlled flight of the ball, which makes sense as Matty, aka the king of long balls, prefers this model over any other offering on the market. As to the Purechaos, it features central lacing with the twist, wrapping completely over the laces of what Adidas call their pure cut lace cover, purely to provide a cleaner strike on the ball, similar to the purpose of off-center lacing. Several Adidas professionals wear the Purechaos but prefer to place their tied laces at the top of the cover, as the laces themselves do actually hurt when you strike the ball. The Hypervenom's off-center lacing is a definite winner in my eyes. When it comes to touch on a football, nothing compares to leather football boots. However, these two boots are both synthetic, so what have the two brands Nike and Adidas done to their uppers? On the Hypervenom, it features a relatively smooth Nike skin layer with the addition of pour-on pods for added friction, protection and power. Pour-on pods won't make you strike the ball with more power, but with more control. The raised pods act like Adidas' Predator rubber elements, slightly aiding curve control and accuracy. ACC as well may help touch and control in wet and dry conditions, but I'm not overly convinced. The Purechaos' upper is thin and smooth, a slash-like texture with non-stop grip. It will increase friction a little, but not by much. But who's to say which upper will provide more grip and touch? I would go for the Purechaos, but not by much though. One of the most important features of any football boot is the sole plate or outsole. Competing with Nike's Superfly 5's contoured chassis is Hypervenom's hyperreactive sole plate. Designed for increased traction, it offers an array of innovations. The nylon material has different depths and parts on the forefoot, allowing your toes and foot to grip the ground quicker. The Purechaos opts for Adidas' trusty sprint frame design, which on paper is comfortable, reliable, lightweight and durable, but not overly aggressive. Sprint frame from heel to toe opts for a consistent depth, which is different to Hypervenom's hyperreactive sole plate. In terms of chassis, I would go for the hyperreactive design on the Hypervenom. Studs wise, Nike has three types of studs on their Hypervenom, a marketing gimmick or one hell of an aggressive and reactive stud design. Chevron studs on the lateral, hexagonal studs on the medial, and bladed support studs in the center. Much different to the Purechaos' teardrop shaped design. If you want a comfortable yet lightweight sole plate, go for the Purechaos. Features done, I think it's clear to say that both boots have their differences, similarities, pros and cons. Now onto the fit of both boots. If you have narrow feet, normal feet or wide feet, it's essential to know the fit of both boots before making the decision. To put it clearly, the Hypervenom Phantom 3 DF will fit most foot types perfectly. The last is not overly wide and not overly narrow. For those out there, including me, who have extremely wide feet, the Hypervenom should never be your first choice if you were to base your decision purely on fit. However, in saying that, the all Flyknit design will mean it will stretch, give and mold to your wide feet. As to the X16 Purechaos, again it's not overly wide and not overly narrow. Much wider than the X15.1, but still won't be completely spot on for wide feet. The last is actually quite similar to the Hypervenom. Personally, when lacing the silo up, it was very hard to put on because of the no-tongue design, but that's an almost different concern. The widest part of the Purechaos is the forefoot, which yes is good for wide feet, but not great if you have high feet. The almost impossible pure cut tech fit design makes it incredibly tight in the midfoot, which yes is good for responsiveness, not great comfort wise. Now on to performance, which outperforms the other in terms of comfort, durability, protection, responsiveness, traction, touch and break-in. The Hypervenom in terms of comfort is very good for an all-over synthetic knitted football boot. The Hypervenom 3 compared to the previous generations outguns those models completely when it comes to comfort. Flyknit itself is very soft and can mold to your feet much better than general synthetics. The Purechaos has a very thin and flexible upper, which makes overall comfort quite good for a lightweight and thin football boot. Comfort itself can be very hard to judge as it can be different for everyone, but in general I think the Purechaos is quite comfortable for its lightweight makeup. Now the second most important thing to do with performance is responsiveness and traction. As mentioned earlier, we did talk about the sole plates and midfoot lockdown technology, so we won't dwell on this subject for too long. The Hypervenom and Purechaos are both responsive but in completely different ways. The Hypervenom uses its laces, flywire and hyperreactive sole plate for its lockdown and thus improving responsiveness and overall acceleration and traction, whereas the Purechaos enhances lockdown via its no-tongue tech fit wrap, which aggressively hugs the midfoot. Overall, the Hypervenom and Purechaos are both highly responsive in terms of responsiveness and traction. I would go for the Hypervenom just again though. When it comes to touch and feel on the ball of both uppers, which provides a barefoot feel and which provides a more dampened effect. Well again, as mentioned earlier, the Purechaos will offer a very thin barefoot feel on the ball, while the Hypervenom has a few more layers in between, including Flyknit, Nike Skin and pour-on pods, creating a combination of barefoot and dampened touch. Which is better? Again, it's all about personal preference. My preferences will pull me towards the Hypervenom touch-wise. On to durability, which again can be different for everyone. Both Adidas and Nike products are very well put together. These brands won't be cutting corners when it comes to craftsmanship and make of a football boot, which means the Hypervenom and Purechaos will give you a full season, if not more, if taken care of properly. A different aspect of performance is protection. The Hypervenom has the denser upper, providing the extra level of protection than the thin Purechaos. So what about weight? Which boot is heavier and which boot is lighter? My guess would be the Purechaos is the lighter boot of the two, but no, I would be wrong. The Hypervenom is the lighter boot, weighing in at around 195 grams, and the Purechaos around the 200 grams mark. I think the sprint front and sole is where Adidas could make their Purechaos lighter, but hear me out, a lighter boot won't mean it's a better boot. It's really all about personal preference. One of the most important things to do when you're buying boots online or at a store is price. Price can almost be the #1 factor when it comes to buying boots. Me, myself, would never buy a boot at full price. I would wait a few months before the boot you want goes on sale, but that's just me. At full retail price, it's just £10 difference between Nike's Hypervenom Phantom 3, pricing in at £240, and the Purechaos comes in at £230. This is no significant difference between the two silos, but overall price-wise may push you towards the cheaper alternatives either by Nike, Adidas, or other brands such as Umbro, New Balance, or Under Armour. Now on to boot ratings. For comfort, the Hypervenom Phantom 3 has a rating of 4.5 out of 5, whereas the Purechaos just trails in behind at 4.25 out of 5. As mentioned earlier, these two boots have very thin uppers, so again, these ratings are very good for lightweight synthetic football boots. Weight-wise for both boots, which weigh between 150 to 200 grams, we give it a 4 out of 5, in which both the Hypervenom and Purechaos slide into. Our upper quality rating for the Hypervenom is a solid 5 out of 5. The combination of Flyknit, pour-on pods and Nike Skin make this upper very premium. We gave the Purechaos upper the quality of 4.5 out of 5, half a point off the Hypervenom because we don't think the quality is up there with Nike models. Our durability ratings again is similar to upper quality, so a 5 out of 5 for the Hypervenom and a 4.5 for the Purechaos. The Purechaos' upper is thinner, which may be more prone to ripping, especially around the toe box. In terms of responsiveness, the Hypervenom reigns supreme again, so we gave this silo a very high 4.8 out of 5, whereas the Purechaos is a 4, which is still pretty good. The best thing about the Hypervenom 3 is that you can really customize the tightness because of those adjustable flywire cables. In terms of value for money, both boots price in at a more premium level of football boots, so a fair 4 out of 5 value rating for each solo. Performance wise, these boots are insane, but in terms of overall price for what you're getting, we gave a modest 4. And the last rating is our overall ratings combined. No surprises, but the Hypervenom wins on our rating scale in at a very good 4.55 out of 5, and the Purechaos rates in at a 4.21 out of 5. So we have rated the Hypervenom being the better boot of the two. Again folks, this is our professional opinion, and each rating could be different for each user. But again, it all really comes down to the foot type and personal preference. Wide footed players, I would probably avoid these two models completely. But what do you guys think? Please share your opinions in the comments below and vote in the poll card. And for those of you who are still watching, we have the boot for the 3 emojis we posted at the start of the video. It is the Savage Beauty Mercurial Superfly 4 CR7 edition. Thanks again for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.